All right. Hello, everybody. Hello, hello, hello. I think that we are having some people starting to come in now. Let's see. Yep. Slowly but surely, they're coming in. All right. Excellent. Well, hello, everybody. If you can hear me, then please type into the chat bar and tell me that you're here. So tell me that you hear me. So if you hear me, type into the chat and tell me that you hear me. Please do that now. If you can't find the chat bar, it should be at the bottom of the screen and on the right. Oh, hello. Oh, Estefania. Excellent. We have Victoria. Excellent. So we have several people here. Very nice. Very nice. So if you can hear me, please type into the chat bar and tell me that you hear me. As we get started, I'll just go ahead and tell you what we're doing today. So today we're having a class about giving advice, and we're going to find out some different ways that maybe you already know. So some of them you may know already, and some of them you may not, right? But we're going to find some ways to give advice in English. All right, we're going to look at 5 of them. I think that the first one will be the simplest, and it will get maybe a little bit more difficult as we go. Some of you may already know these, and that's okay. It's always good to review as well. All right, let's see. So really fast, as we all come in, can you tell me where is everybody? I remember some of you. Brona, I believe I remember where you are. I'm going to let you tell me so that I don't look, so I don't say it wrong. But I think I remember where you are. Estefania, Emilce, I know definitely where the 2 of you are. Can we all say where we are in the world right now? Let's see. Victoria, I think you were in Russia. I think I remember from the last time we had one of these classes here. Oh, Tajikistan. That's right, Tajikistan. Oh, that's right. Of course, not Russia. Argentina. That's right, Emilce. I remember that. Yeah, of course. Okay. All right. Well, we have some more people who are meant to join us here in the next few minutes. So, but let's go ahead and we'll go ahead and get started, and they can join us when they come in. Brona in Slovakia. That's right. I remember now. But we'll see. So people can join us in the next few minutes. As we go today, your role in this class is to type into the chat bar. I need lots of participation from everybody. So typing in the chat bar to answer the questions that I give you and to ask me any questions that you have as we go as well. All right, so let's get started with our class all about giving advice. All right. So here's the first question I have for you, and this is just a warm up, just to get us started here. But I want you to tell me, who do you go to for advice? Who do you go to for advice? So if you have a problem and you want to talk about it with somebody, who do you talk to, or who do you go to get that advice? Victoria says her mom. Okay, that makes sense. Your father, very good. Yeah, I think family members are generally the probably the most common, at least. I think that we can always get really good advice from our family members. How about to your friends? Does anybody go to a friend? I don't know. I don't know if I trust my friends with advice. They don't normally give me very good advice, but maybe you can go to a friend, to a family member, something like that. Yeah. Let's see. Emilce says you talk it over with your husband. Excellent. I like that, Emilce. That's a very good expression there. You said to talk it over. Very good. I'm going to write that here. Talk it over. Right, that's a very good one, meaning to have a conversation about something, to talk it over. Very nice. Okay, good. So we have some different people, some mothers, fathers, husbands, maybe friends. I don't know. It depends on how good your friends are. I don't know if I trust my friends with advice. All right, so all right, good. So now that we're in the mood, now that we're starting to think in English, let's start looking at the very first way to give somebody advice. And this is going to be the easiest one, okay? This is going to be the easiest one. You should look at this and say, oh, okay, this is very easy, but this will be the first one. Yeah, we're going to look at 5 ways to give advice in English. And the first one is the simplest. The first one is just called the imperative. The imperative is our first way for giving advice, or our first way to give advice. And you can see some examples of this down here, where it says things like go to your room or eat your breakfast, right? This is our first way to give somebody advice. And up here, we can see that it says, use the imperative to give informal advice, right? So we're giving informal advice with the imperative. We generally want to do this with people that we know very well by just using the imperative form or the root form of our word. Okay, and remember that the imperative can sound very direct in English. Okay, so we need to be very careful with this one and only use it with people that we know very well. Okay, using the imperative with people we don't know can sound very direct in English. So you always want to use it only with people you know very well to give simple advice. Okay, so let's play a little game. All right, I want to practice this a little bit and see what you all can give me. So I'm going to put some situations on the board or on the screen here, and I want you to tell me what advice you can give based on what I have at the bottom. Okay, so we can look at the first one here, and we can see, for example, it says, my colleague, make sure you're pronouncing that word correctly, colleague. We can say, my colleague is very loud and distracting. My colleague is very loud and distracting, right? So what advice can you give somebody using the imperative if they tell you that their colleague is very loud and distracting? So you can just type in the bottom, you can just type in the chat bar here, either the letter, or you can write out the whole sentence, but let's see who can get it first. And we can even keep score today. Let's see, what do we have? All right, it looks like Estefania gets this one. The first one, it says, so my colleague is very loud and distracting, and Estefania, also Victoria and Brona, and lots of people, we all say, tell him to be quiet. Exactly right. Tell him to be quiet. He's being loud. Tell him to be quiet. Now, of course, if we have a colleague who's being very distracting, there are lots of other things we can tell that person, but I think this is a good, simple, nice way of putting it. Just tell him to be quiet, right? And again, this is advice that you would get from maybe somebody you know very well. Maybe, as some of you said, if you go to your mother or your father or your husband or a friend, they might give you this advice because they know you very well. You're very familiar. Right, good. So number one goes to Estefania. Congratulations, Estefania. Very good. All right, let's go for number two. Number two, here we go. Number two says this, I'm starving. I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving and I haven't eaten all day. Now, of course, starving, we know what this means. It means very, very hungry. Very, very, very hungry. And let's see, what do we say? Watch the news. I don't know. Study every night, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Exactly right, everybody. Good, very nice. I see from everyone. Eat a sandwich. It will make you feel better. Very good. If you are starving, then you should eat a sandwich because it will make you feel better. Excellent. Very nice. There we go. Exactly right. I'm starving, so eat a sandwich. It will make you feel better. All right, so that one goes to Victoria. Very nice, Victoria. So we have Estefania with 1, and we have Victoria with 1. All right, here we go. Neck and neck. Here we go. Here's the next one. It says, I don't like following current events. I don't like following current events. They are so boring. Maybe you can relate to this. Maybe you like current events. Maybe you don't. I know that for me, sometimes they can be very, maybe not boring, but very, I don't know. It's just not interesting. Very combative, very crazy, I think. Let's see. So what can we say? I don't like following current events. They are so boring. What advice can you give me? All right, looks like we've got it. Yes, very good. So I see Emilce, I see with A, I see Victoria, Estefania, Brona, all of you have the correct answer. Very nice. We can say watch the news. It's important. Watch the news. It's important. Extra points. If anybody can tell me the singular for the word news. The singular for the word news. All right. I hear a lot of people say new, like to watch a new, but actually that's not what we say. So can anybody tell me, how can we talk about one unit of the news? Yeah, Stephanie, it doesn't exist. There's no singular form. Exactly right. Very good. So there's no one new, two news. But Victoria, excellent. Absolutely right. So we can say this. We can say a piece of news. Very good. We can say some news. We can say a news story. That's a good one to use as well. One news story, right? So we can count it, but we cannot say one new. I hear some people saying that, and it is wrong. So very good. Very good. All right, that's number 3. Here we go. Here comes number 4. First one to get it gets the point, which I think is kind of moot at this point. Number 4, it says, I fail all my tests because I never study. I fail all my tests because I never study. What can we say? I fail all my tests because I never study. Who's going to get it? Who's going to get it? Yes. All right. Very good. We have Victoria, we have Estefania, we have Delphine. Very good. Very nice. All right. So study every night to build a habit. Study every night to build a habit. Very good. Excellent advice in a very informal way. Remember, this is very informal advice, and it's only for people that we know personally. We don't give this advice to strangers because it can sound very direct if we do that, right? There are other forms that we will see later if we give advice to strangers. Okay, so for people that we know very well, we can say, study every night to build a habit. Excellent. All right, here comes number 5. Number 5. Number 5 says, I want to get in shape, but I never work out. Remember, work out means to do exercise. I want to get in shape. I want to be fit, but I never work out. I never do exercise. All right, maybe we can relate to this one, especially in the lockdowns. I don't know. I want to get in shape, but I never work out. And we say, yes, excellent. Everybody's got it. We say F, exercise 3 days per week, and you'll see results. Exercise 3 days per week, only 3 days per week, and you'll see results. Very good. Excellent. And the last one here, I think it's going to be pretty obvious. But it says, I am always late for work because I never wake up on time. So what advice can we give? I'm always late for work because I never wake up on time. And we say, yes, of course, set your alarm a bit earlier. Set your alarm a bit earlier, right? If you never wake up on time, set your alarm earlier. Now, for all of these situations that we've just seen, there's other advice that we can give, right? Of course, there's other advice that we can give. There are lots of solutions to these problems. There are lots of solutions to the problem of always being late for work. And so now we're going to see some other ways. There's some ways that we can give these other advice, some other advice. All right, so let's see. So that was number 1. That was our first method. That was our first way to give advice. All right, here's number 2, the second one. And actually, we're going to have the second one and the third one here. We have 2 and 3, and they're with these 2 words, should and could. And I think, again, just like the first one, I think that this one is going to be pretty simple. All right, if you should already know these by now, but we have the words should and could, but I hear people using them in the wrong ways sometimes. I hear people using should and could the same way, but we don't actually use them exactly the same way in English. We use them a little bit differently. So we can see here, it says we can use should to give advice. Okay, so this is recommendations. We can use should to give advice and to give recommendations. And we can use could to provide alternative solutions. Okay, now this isn't exactly the same thing as advice. So let's look down here at this problem that we have and the solution at the bottom, where it says, if you want to be more organized, you should use a calendar, right? That's my opinion. I think you should use a calendar. That's what I think is the best solution, is I think you should use a calendar. Or you could use an online planner. If you want to be more organized, you should use a calendar, or you could use an online planner, or you could write things down, or you could make a list, right? So when we give the alternatives, the other possibilities, that's when we want to use the word could. Okay, so generally we say should for the best option, for the one that I think is the best option, and we say could for all of the other possibilities. Okay. So that's how we use should and could. I hear people using each of these words kind of the same way, but really we need to have this distinction in our minds. So we're going to practice with this one now. Okay, we're going to practice now with the words should and could. And we're going to look at the same situations that we just had, the same situations. So all of the ones that we just saw, and now we're going to give alternative solutions to them. So let's see this again. All right, all of my big problems. Here's my big problem. My first big problem is, again, that my colleague is very loud and distracting. My colleague is very loud and distracting. Now, can you please help me? Help me, please. I want you to tell me what I should do. That's the first one. Okay, so first thing, tell me what I should do. Okay, so in the chat, please tell me what should I do with my colleague. Before you gave me the advice, you said tell him to be quiet, and that's good, right? That's good if we're very familiar, but we can also use the word should. Emilce says you should tell him to be quieter. Excellent, Emilce. Very good, very good. Yep, you should tell him to be quieter. Absolutely. That's the same advice as from before. Is this the best advice that you can tell me? Is this the best advice? Is this what you think I should do? To tell him to be quieter, or are there other things that that maybe would be better? Right. So I want you to tell me using should and could, right? So give me what you think is the best thing using should, and give me some alternative ideas using could, right? The best idea with should and some alternative ideas with could. Okay, let's see what we can say. Let's see what we can say. The best idea with should and some alternatives, some other ideas by using the word could. All right, let's see. Let's see. Victoria says you could speak less loudly. You could speak less loudly. Okay, so I should tell him that he could speak less loudly or quieter, right? And that he should think about other people too. Very good. I like that. You should think about other people. Yeah. You could encourage him to focus. Absolutely, you could encourage him to focus. So let's write some of these down. We can say you should tell him to be quiet, right? That's what we said. Tell him to be quiet. That's the best option. That's the best idea we can think of. You should tell him to be quiet. Or you could, we said, encourage him to focus and tell him to be less noisy. I like that one. We could ask for an individual office. Delphina says you should, so that's the best idea, but we're just gonna add it to our could. You could use earplugs. Absolutely, use earplugs. Right, put the earplugs in the ears so that I can't hear him. Right, very nice. I like that one. We could say you could do meditation. I like that one. Meditation. Oh, Monica, excellent. Monica's here. You could do meditation. I like that. Right. So here we're saying that our best option, the best thing to do, in my opinion, my recommendation is tell him to be quiet. But you could also encourage him to focus. You could tell him to be less noisy. You could ask for an individual office. You could use earplugs, and you could do meditation. So we have lots of different solutions here, right? Using could. Excellent. I really like it. All right, I can tell that some of you have had this situation before with a very noisy workmate or colleague, maybe. All right, let's see another situation. Let's see another one. Remember that we had a couple of them. Here's the other one. We said, I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day. I'm starving. I haven't eaten all day. All right, so again, I need us to agree. What's the best thing to do? What should I do? And then we're going to say some alternatives that I could do. All right, so I haven't eaten all day and I'm starving. Estefania says you should buy some food. Yeah, I think that's a good one. We're gonna say that one. We're gonna write that one here. You should buy some food or eat some food, right? I think that's the best option. So that's my recommendation. Now, what are some alternatives, or what are some different foods that I could eat? I don't know what I could eat. What could I eat? I should buy some food, but what food? What food? What food could I eat? Right, so you could eat a sandwich. That's what we said before. A sandwich. Let's see. Victoria says you should carry kefir and cookies. Right, I like that one. Call Deliveroo. Very good. Call Deliveroo. I like that one. That's very good. Have a snack. You could have a snack. Absolutely. Some very good ones here. Monica, you say you should go to the doctor. Yeah, maybe if I'm actually starving, if I'm really starving, I should go to a doctor. I think people a lot of times use the word starving just to say really hungry, not actually in a dangerous way. Victoria says you could come to her mom's house. Very good. Excellent. Your mom cooks well. That sounds good. All right. Next time I'm starving, I'll keep that in mind. All right, good. All right, so I like this. We have some good ones here. You should buy some food. And what food you could buy? You could eat a sandwich. You could call Deliveroo or a delivery service. And you could have a snack, right? There are lots of things that we could do here. Yeah, absolutely. Monica, you said take a tea. I would rather you say have a tea. Have a tea, right? Take a tea. No, have a tea. All right, let's see the next one here. Let's see the next one. We have another one here. Again, so I don't like following current events. I don't like following current events. I think they are boring. They are so boring, right? What should I do? What should I do? I don't like following current events. I think they are boring. What should I do? Or what could I do? What are some alternatives? Right? Should I follow the news? Should I follow current events? Why? I don't know. You could tell me why. So what should I do? What should I do? Maybe you could suggest whatever you do, right, to follow current events, to watch for the news. Do you read the newspaper, or do you watch the news in the morning, or what do you do? Emilce says you shouldn't watch. You shouldn't watch if you don't want to. Right? You shouldn't watch if you don't want to. I like that. I like that. Victoria says you should apply for a master's degree and then you don't have time. Okay, that's good. No time for boring activities. That's good. That's good. You could watch Netflix instead of the news. I like that one. Stephanie, that's a good one. You could watch Netflix instead. Yeah, you could watch Netflix instead. That's good. And then here we also say you could read novels. Read novels. Instead, let's see, Delphine says you should listen to the radio. That's a good one. That's an easy one, right? That's an easy one to do, right? So you should listen to the radio. Absolutely, I like that one. Very good. Watch Netflix or read novels instead. Oh, we misspelled novels. Well, there's supposed to be an L there, right? Read novels. Good. All right, I like these. These are some good ones. All right, let's see. We have another problem. Here's my other problem. Here it is. Oh, and this is a big one. I think a lot of us can probably relate to this. I want to get in shape, but I never work out. I want to get in shape, but I never work out. What can I do? What should I do? What could I do? Give me some advice here. Give me some advice and give me some alternatives. Some advice and some alternatives. What should I do? What could I do to get in shape? Victoria says you should watch yoga on YouTube. Absolutely, and repeat after the coach. Okay, that's a great one. Using YouTube. YouTube is a great way to do it. You could jog in the mornings. I like that one. Here, so let's see. Let's see. So I like that. I got the first should from Victoria. You should watch exercise videos at home. I like that one. And then we have some other options. We say you could go for a jog. Delphine says you could, or you should eat less fat and sugar. We're going to add to this one, eat less fat and sugar. Emilce says you should start right away without being in two minds. So Emilce, that sounds like there's another expression, without being in two minds. No, without thinking twice. Without thinking twice. So don't think twice, meaning don't think too much about it. Just do it. Right? Don't think twice. So that's a good one there. Absolutely. Let's see. Go for a walk. I see that one. Go for a walk. Eat less. Very good. Just eat less in general. So eat less fat and sugar, but also just eat less. That also works. Very good. All right. So we should do exercise at home, watch exercise videos. That's the best advice. And some alternatives. We can also go for a jog. Could eat less fat and sugar, go for a walk, or just eat less in general. Very good. All right. Very nice. We're getting through these. Here we go. Here's the next one. It says, I'm always late for work. because I never wake up on time. Remember this one, we saw this before. I'm always late for work because I never wake up on time. I'm always late for work. I never wake up on time. What should I do? What could I do? What are my possibilities? Help me, please. What should I do and what could I do? I'm always late for work because I never wake up on time. I'm always late for work because I never wake up on time. Monica says you should go to bed early. That's our shoulds. That's the best advice. You should go to bed early. I'll take it. Monica, I like it. I like it. Who here is a night owl and who here is an early bird? We can think that. Who's a night owl and who's an early bird? I'm a bit of a night owl, I think. So going to bed early doesn't sound too great to me. Sometimes I want to, but Victoria says you should go to bed earlier. Okay. Okay. You could ask someone to wake you up. Very nice. Ask someone to wake you up if you have a roommate or if you live with someone. Good. Yep. And then Victoria says she's a night owl and Monica's an early bird. All right. So we're all a little bit different here. Good. I need one more thing that I could do. What's one more thing I could do? So go to bed earlier seems like the big one, huh? How about coffee? Should I drink a lot of coffee? I don't know. What do you think? Should I drink a lot of coffee? Delphine says you should exercise a lot. We'll add that to our could. So we'll say do a lot of exercise. You could do a lot of exercise. I like that one, Delphine. I think that's a good idea to make you tired so that you want to sleep, right? Okay, Monica says prepare a good breakfast. Okay, so that maybe you want to wake up. Yeah, so you want to wake up to eat the delicious breakfast, right? So prepare a good breakfast. I like that. A good breakfast. All right, good. I think we have a couple. We have enough of them. Very nice, everyone. I like those. All right, let's see. I think we have one more, maybe. No, we don't have one more. All right, so we're going on to our method number 4. Method number 4 gets a little bit more complicated. Okay, so so far we have seen the imperative voice. We have seen the word should and the word could. Well, now we're going to see this expression that is really common in English that says, if I were you, I would. If I were you, I would. Okay, and this is a really common one. And we use this structure to tell someone your opinion about what they should do. So we're kind of making it less direct by using this structure here, right? So all of these different ways that we speak, that we give advice, they're all, we use them all in different cases. And this one we use to be less direct, right? If I use the imperative, then I'm saying, tell him to be quiet. I'm putting the pressure on you. I'm telling you what to do. If I say should and could, then it takes a little bit off, but it's still, I'm talking about what you should do, not what I should do. No, you, not him. No, you, what you should and you could do. But if we want to be less direct, then we can use this expression, if I were you, I would. And now the focus is not on you. The focus is now on me. So you feel it's just less direct. And remember that in English, generally, it's good to be less direct, especially in formal situations like at work and when talking to people that you don't know. So with strangers or with people that you don't know, or just any time that you want to be a little bit more sensitive, this is a good expression to use here. If I were you, I would. Okay. So, for example, down at the bottom here, we can say, if I were you, I'd find a cheaper place to live. And notice that we say this, we don't say I would, right? We can say I would, but we like to contract it. We like to say I'd. That's the most common way to say it, right? So if I were you, I'd find a cheaper place to live. Or if I were her, right? So it's not always if I were you, it's if I were her, or if I were him, or if I were them, right? If I were her, I'd break up with him. I'd break up with this guy. Right? So we can use this for kind of sensitive situations to give indirect advice. We're focusing on myself, not on you. Okay, that's why we use this expression, if I were you. All right, so we're going to practice it some more. Of course, we have to practice. Practice is the most important part here. So I'm going to give you some more situations, right? Because I have to make some decisions. I have to make a decision, and I need you to help me to make my decision. So here we go. Here's my first decision. It's a big decision. It's an important one. My decision is I want to buy a new car. Right, I want to buy a new car. So which of these cars, which one would you buy if you were me? Right, which car would you buy if you were me? Would you buy maybe this kind of cool older car? Would you buy the kind of the, I don't know, the cool car? I don't know, the hip car, the Beetle here. Would you buy the really fast, really probably very expensive car, or the third one? Or would you buy this smart car, the electric car, saving the planet on the right? So I want you to write into the chat, and you can do this here, or if you're watching on YouTube, you can also do it there. I want you to write into the chat and tell me which car you would buy if you were me. And you need to use that entire expression. Okay, you need to use the entire expression. If I were you, I would, or I'd is even better. Okay, let's see. So we have some answers coming in. Victoria, you say, if I were you, I would buy the fourth car. All right, so that's the one all the way on the right, the smart car, the electric car, right? To not pollute the environment. Very good. All right, very, very good of you, Victoria. To not pollute the environment, you would buy the smart car on the right. Very good. Delphine, you said I would buy the, and I'm not sure how to pronounce that word. Well, number two, the middle one, the one in number two, that's the one you're talking about. Okay, very nice, because it's the cool one, right? Let's see. Emilce says, if I were you, I'd buy the yellow one because it seems pretty fast. Absolutely, it seems pretty fast. Very good. I like that one. Yeah, if you like to go fast, number three is definitely the car for you. Monica says, if I were you, I would buy the car, I think the yellow car, because you only live once, right? You only live once. I like that, right? You only live once, so buy the yellow car, buy the fast car, number three. Very good. I like that. I like that decision. That's a great decision there. You only live once. I like that expression. I'm going to write it here for us. You only live once. This is something that people can say right before they do something really crazy, right? You only live once. Very good. Stephania says she would buy the last car because it's electric and the least polluting. All right, so we have some people here. It looks like we're in two different camps in this case. We have the people who want to save the environment and the people who want to go really fast. Right, so we have we have some people in each group. Very nice. I guess that's fine. Right. So very good. Very good. I like it. I think I'd probably be with the fast group as well, number three. So nobody would buy number one. Okay. Nobody would buy the first one. All right, let's see. Here we go. Here's another one. Here's another very important situation for me. I want to go on vacation. So where would you go if you were me? Where would you go on vacation if you were me? Where would you go? We have on the left, we have maybe the mountains, maybe an adventure vacation. We have in the middle, we have a beach, we have an island resort, we have a, I don't know, beach vacation. And on the right, we have, let's just use this one. This is London to represent cities, right? So a city vacation, so a vacation to a popular city or to a major city to do some sightseeing in the city. Right, so which one of these vacations would you choose if you were me? And I want you to use the entire sentence. If I were you, I would. We need to practice with these expressions here. If I were you, I would, or if I were you, I'd. Remember that one. Let's see, Estefania says, if I were you, I'd go to the mountains where you can relax, do sports, and breathe fresh air. So important. Yes, absolutely. Breathing fresh air. Delphine says, if I were you, I would go to an island and the crystal waters. It's a great way to describe this. We can say that the water here is crystal clear. The crystal clear waters of this island here. Very nice. I like that expression. We also said, yeah, Stephania said, breathe. So yeah, go to the mountains for some fresh air and chill out. Oh, that was Emilce says to chill out with the fresh air. I like that expression, fresh air. You can kind of feel it when you say that one, right? It's a feeling to that word there, the fresh air. How about, would anybody go to the city, to London? Would anybody go to the city here? I don't see anybody. So far, everyone's going to either the mountains or to the beach. Maybe that's the situation we're in. Everyone wants to escape to the mountains or to the beach right now. I don't know. I'll say so. I don't think anyone. I think that for me, if it's me, I would probably also choose the mountains. I think that would be my favorite one. The mountains sound really nice, and then probably the city, and finally the beach. For me, the last one is the beach. Monica says, if I were you, I would go to the beach because you can lie on the beach without people around you. Okay, yeah, it's a very kind of deserted beach right here, so not many people. Excellent, excellent. All right. Good. All right, that's a good one. All right, so we have this situation. You have told me what you would do if you were me. Of course, you're not me, but you've told me what you would do. Here we go. Here's another one, right? So we have this one. I'm starting university next month. I'm starting university. What would you study if you were me? And we don't need to go with the pictures on this one. We can think maybe business, accounting, some kind of mathematics on the left. We can think maybe literature or some kind of humanities in the middle, or maybe engineering or some kind of science on the right. But use your imagination. You can think of anything that you want for what you would study if you were me. Let's see. So what can we say? What would you study if you were me? What would you study if you were me? Would you study science? Would you study engineering? Would you study economics? Would you study mathematics? Would you study literature? What would it be? What would you study if you were me? All right, I'm getting some of them coming in. So we say some people are saying they would study engineering. Engineering, I like that one. Okay, engineering is a very popular field these days. Study English and American literature. If I were you, that's what Victoria says. Estefania says, if I were you, I'd study something related to health and helping other people. Very good, Estefania. Very, very good, right? Very noble. Absolutely. Would anybody study accounting? No, maybe. I don't know. Maybe. We'll see. That's what my degree was in. All right, let's see. Yeah, engineering, literature, and we have health here. Mathematics is what Monica says. Very nice, very nice. You have she says, I would like to study mathematics because you have a higher chance of getting into a big company. So if your goal is to join a big company and be an engineer or be in some kind of mathematics, then it's a good way to go. Absolutely. All right. All right, good. And then now let's go to the last one here, the very last one. We have this one. So the last situation for me is I have a problem. I'm going to move to a new home. Where would you live if you were me? Would you live in this small apartment or maybe even a studio apartment? Would you live out in the countryside in the picture number 2? Would you live in kind of a family home, maybe in the suburbs somewhere? Or would you live in my favorite one? This is definitely the one I chose, a treehouse. Would you live in a treehouse? So which one would you choose if you were me? Where would you live if you were me? So if I were you, what can we say? If I were you, I would. So where would you live? In the small apartment? Would you live out in the countryside? Would you live in the house, or would you live in the tree house? Victoria says that she would live in a townhouse. Excellent. In a townhouse close to work. Excellent. So a house in the city, a townhouse. Very good. I like that one. Yeah, so trying to find the best of both worlds, right? So not in a small apartment, but also not way out in the countryside. So maybe in a townhouse, a house inside of town. Could be good. Monica says, if I were you, I would live in the third house because you can have more space to invite your friends. I like that. Very good, Monica. You can invite your friends because you have more space. Emil say would live in the family home because it's cozy and you have enough space. Very good. In the family house. So it sounds like most people here, it sounds like most of us are choosing this family house here. Sounds like a lot of us are choosing number 3. Which is good. I mean, I think it's probably the most spacious, right? The most spacious. Estefania would live in the first house because you have supermarkets and hospitals and your job close to home. So maybe in the first house, you're living in the city, which means you can walk everywhere, which makes it very easy to get around. Absolutely. absolutely. I think that's a good one. And it looks like a pretty nice place. Looks like a comfortable place to live. Lots of light in the first one there. For me, it would probably be way out in the countryside, number 2 or number 3 or number 4, 2 or 4, either in a tree or just in the countryside, right, away from the city. Sounds really great to me. But all right, we all have our own opinions. So very good. Stephania would live, yeah, okay, yeah, in the first house. Okay, good. So this is how we can use if I were you, right? That was if I were you, right? If I were you, we can use it to give people advice on situations, especially when they have a very big decision to make, and we want to be a little bit delicate in giving our advice, right? So very good, everybody. Excellent. So that's 4 ways. So here's the last one. The last way that we can give advice is using this structure here, which is you had better. You had better. Okay. Now, we use this expression, you had better, to give strong advice, right? Maybe even a warning to someone. So you give strong advice or maybe even a warning to somebody with had better. It's kind of the opposite of if I were you. Remember, we said if I were you, we use for soft advice. We use it to distance ourselves from the advice. But with had better, we're giving very direct, very strong advice or warnings. So some examples of this down here, we can see where it says you'd better study hard to pass your exam. You can imagine a teacher saying this, right? You better study hard. It's very important. And once again, notice that it's not very common to actually say you had better. It's too many words. It's too long to say you had better. So instead we say you'd better. You'd better study hard to pass your exam, or the negative, you'd better not put this off to the last minute. You'd better not put this off to the last minute. Again, maybe a teacher, or maybe in this case, a boss could say this. Put something off is another way to say to postpone. Right, so you'd better not postpone this to the last minute. You'd better not wait to do it until the last minute. You'd better not put this off to the last minute. Right, very strong advice here, or maybe even a warning with had better. Right, good. So somebody who often gives very strong advice or even warnings is the person in our next picture here. So we are going to go to the doctor. The doctors love to give warnings and to give strong advice, and thank goodness that they do, because sometimes we need to have it drilled into our minds that it's very important to do things. So doctors will often use this expression, you'd better, doctors and nurses. So we have a situation, and I want to hear your best doctoral advice, your best medical advice. Okay, so here we go. I'm your patient, and I want you to give me some advice. So I say, I think I have a cold. I think I have a cold, right? I think I'm sick. I think I have a cold. What should I do? What should I do? I want to get some advice from everybody. And while you're writing, I want you to notice something here, that when we ask the question, we don't say, what had I better do? We don't say that. We don't ask questions with had better. We generally don't do that. Generally, we're going to ask the question with the words, with should, right? So what should I do? What should I do, doctor? And the doctor will give you strong advice using had better, okay? It's very important. We don't say, what had I better do? Don't try to don't get confused by trying to use this in the questions. All right, so what do we say? Let's see. You'd better stay home where it's warm. Absolutely. Now, remember that we have this expression, to have a cold. Remember that this is another way to say that I'm sick, right? I'm sick, right? We have to have a cold. We also have to be cold, right? To be cold is the temperature, right? I'm cold, right? I am cold, to be cold. But to have a cold is sick, right? But your advice would probably still work. Monica says you better take some pills. Take some pills, very good. Milsa says you'd better take aspirin, drink orange juice, very good, and rest, right? Take aspirin, drink orange juice, and rest, very good. Victoria, you better take cough syrup, okay? Excellent, excellent. We have lots of good ones here. Let's see. Very good. Gurgle your throat. That's this. It's that that action right there. To gurgle. I like that. I'm going to write that one down. To gurgle or gargle. Let's see. Monica says you had better cover a lot and don't take a lot of fresh air in. So be covered and don't take in a lot of fresh air. Okay, very good. Yeah, I like that. Some good ones here. Right. Everybody has their own solution. Everyone has their own remedy for a cold. I think for colds and for hangovers. That's what everybody has a remedy for. All right. Very good. Very good. All right, here we go. Here's another one, right? So we're going to the doctor. We have lots of problems today. Lots and lots of problems today. Here's another one. My vision is going bad. My vision is going bad. So extra points if you can tell me who we're going to, which type of doctor we're talking to here. My vision is going bad. So extra points if you can tell me which type of doctor this is. But my vision is going bad. And again, notice that we ask our question using should. So my vision is going bad. What should I do? What should I do? Victoria, excellent ophthalmologist. Yes, very close, Victoria, very close. If I try to spell it, I may misspell it. I may misspell this word, but it's oops, already misspelled it. Ophthalmologist. I probably misspell it. I probably misspell it. I think this is an E. Sometimes English spelling can be really, really difficult. Even for English speakers, it can be tough. It can be tough to have to spell things correctly in English. I'm going to erase it so that nobody knows I misspelled that word. All right. So, but what could we say? Right? Oh, an optician. Yeah, Emil say an optician could also help you. Yeah. So what does the doctor say? Right? What had I better do? Right? My vision is going bad. My vision is getting worse. So what had I better do? What should I do? What do we say? What does the ophthalmologist or the optician tell me to do? What do we say? Very nice, Estefania. You had better get some glasses. Absolutely. That's one very good solution. You can get some glasses. Or how about what's inside of the eye, right? I'm wearing them right now, not glasses, but inside of the eye. What do we call those? Delphine says you'd better not use a screen. You better not use a screen, right? These screens can hurt your eyesight maybe. So very good. You'd better not use a screen, and you'd better not be close to the computer. Better be far from the computer. Yes. Notice something here. So everybody, I'm seeing a lot of this. You had better to wear glasses, right? That's not what it says, but as an example, right? I'm seeing a lot of this. You had better to wear glasses. Take away that to. We don't need the to there. Okay. You'd better wear glasses. Okay. So no to. Estefania says contact lenses. Yes, Estefania, that's what we put in our eye is contact lenses. Very nice. Emil said you'd better not to watch. No, you'd better not watch too much TV. You'd better not watch too much TV. Very good. Very good. Let's see, Monica, you say why? I need you to be more specific. I'm not sure what you're asking. But yeah, okay, good. So you had better wear glasses. You'd better be far from the screen. You'd better wear contact lenses. You'd better not watch too much TV or use your PC. Lots of really good answers here. Excellent, everybody. Very good. All right, let's see another problem that I'm having. Another big problem that I'm having, right? So here's a big one. I think my pinky finger, that's this finger, the small finger. I think my pinky finger is broken. I think it's broken. What should I do? What should I do? Doctor, help me. Doctor, help me. What should I do? My pinky finger is broken, or at least I think my pinky finger is broken. What should I do? What should I do? Let's see. Emil says I should see a chiropractic. Okay. Ooh, that's too far. Let's go on and see the next one. Okay, absolutely. So so you had better see a chiropractic, a chiropractor. Very good. I like that one. Excellent. Victoria says you'd better have it plastered. Very good. We can put a cast when we have big breaks. We'll often put a plaster or put a cast on it. Both of those are good. Monica says you better have a lot of cream. Maybe if I have it in a cast, then you can use the cream to soothe it. I don't know. Delphine says you better keep it steady. Very nice. You'd better keep it steady so that it can heal. Very good. My finger's broken. You'd better keep it steady. I like that. All right, one more. Here we go. Last one. And here it is. It says, I have a rash on my forearm. I have a rash on my forearm. So here's the forearm, this part right here, from here to here, that's the forearm. So I have a rash on my forearm. This is a red spot. It's very itchy, a rash on my forearm. So what should I do, doctor? Help me out. Please help me out, doctor. What should I do? I have a rash on my forearm. Maybe this is what you were talking about, Monica, with the cream, right? So cream may be good for this one. But what should I do? I have a rash on my forearm. Excellent, Delphine. I like that one. You had better not touch. You'd better not touch it. You'd better not touch it. Excellent. We're going to put an exclamation because that's so important in this case. Yeah. Oh, Victoria, very good. You should use. You had better use an ointment. I like that word, ointment. Right? You had better use an ointment, which is a cream that has medicinal properties. Let's see. Emilce says you'd better consult a dermatologist. A dermatologist, right? So we're getting lots of different specialties inside of medicine here. Stephania says you'd better not scratch. Very good. You'd better not scratch it, right? That's when you use your nails there, you scratch something. You'd better not scratch it. Excellent. All right. Very good. I like these. These are some good answers, right? So you're all very good doctors here. All right. Very nice, everyone. I think that's the last one there. Yep. Oh, okay. So very good. The last thing that we're going to do here. Now, we've seen some different situations where we can use these different expressions for giving advice in English, right? We have different cases. If we're at the doctor's, they'll give us advice in one way. If we're talking to a friend, maybe we use a different structure, right? So we've seen five different ways. So now I'm going to give you some situations. These are some of my friends, and my friends are having some problems. All right, and I'm going to tell you about my friends, and I'm going to tell you about their problems, and you need to help me give them some advice. And so you can use whichever structures you want. You can use should, could, imperative, if I were you, or had better, to give some advice to my friends here. Okay. So here's my friend. His name is Taryn. My friend Taryn is having a big problem. My friend Taryn is in love with someone who doesn't love him back. He's in love with someone who doesn't love him back. So give him some advice. What should he do? What could he do? What would you do if you were him? And if you want to give him some strong advice, you could say that he had better. All right, so what can we say? Give me some advice here. Give Taryn some advice. Emilce says, forget about her. So we're using the imperative in that one. So that's some pretty direct advice, right? So good. I like that one. I'll take that one. Forget about her. Forget about her. About her. Good. What else? I need some more advice. What would you do if you were Taryn? What would you do if you were him? Or what had he better do? Give us some strong advice. I need something here. Victoria says, if I were him, I would prove that I can make her happy. Okay, so fight for her, right? He had better fight for his love. I like that. I'm going to write that one there, Victoria. He had better fight for his love. That's great. I love it. This is I can see the screenplay being written as we speak. Delphine, he should meet other women. he should meet other women. I like that. Plenty of fish in the sea, right? He should meet other women. And notice the pronunciation there, very important. We have here lots of mistakes with this one. So we have one woman, and the other one is women. Right, so woman would be pronounced kind of like men or woman, and the other one would be with a I sound, so women. Very good. So he should stop. He could stop thinking about her. He'd better hang out with his friends, and then the right one will pop up. That's good advice, I'm going to say. Very good. Very good. He should meet other women. He could find a new hobby. Very good, Monica. Very nice. All right, so lots of good advice for Taryn. I can see it becoming a romantic comedy as we speak. So good. All right, that's my first friend, Taryn. He has it. So we've solved his problem. Very nice. Here's my other friend. My other friend is Ramon. Ramon needs to make some extra money. Ramon needs to make some extra money to pay rent this month. He doesn't have enough money to pay rent. He needs to do something to make some extra money. What can Ramon do? What should he do? What could he do? What would you do if you were him? What give him some strong advice with had better or with the imperative. He needs to make some extra money to pay rent. He needs to make some extra money to pay rent. Very good. All right, let's see. Emilce says he should work extra hours. Okay, very good. So if he has a job, he can work extra hours to make some extra money. Very good advice. Monica says he could find a rich woman. He could find a rich woman. Okay, why not? Yeah, we all alternative solutions here. He could offer online tutoring. Very good. He could deliver food. He could deliver food. I think this is a really good situation for us to use a lot of coulds, because we're trying to think of lots of situations, lots of things that he could do here, right? So this is a good situation to use the word could. I like it. He could get another job. He could get another job. He could sell clothes. He could sell his clothes. What would you do if you were him? His clothes. Let's see. Delphine says, if I were him, I'd save money today for the next rent. So if I were him, I'd save money for next month. Okay, good. Thinking ahead for next month. I like that one. Good. He should learn to manage his budget. Very good. Manage his budget. That's a good one there. Manage his budget. Very good. I hear a lot of people mispronounce this word here, budget. All right, so make sure you're getting that budget. Okay. He could save money. Very good. He could save money. So lots of good options here. Good. All right. All right. So I like these, selling clothes online. That's always a good option. Selling your things online. Okay. All right. And I think we have the last one here. The last one. So my last friend. So we've solved Taryn's problem. We've solved Ramon's problem. Let's see, how can we solve Greta's problem, right? So this is the most important one, I think. Greta wants to improve her English skills for work. And you knew I had to have one of these in here. So what can Greta do to improve her English skills for work? What can she do? It's so important. She needs to do it. And she's a good friend of mine, as you can see. So I want to help her. So what can she do? She could try Ngali. She could try these classes. Absolutely. Very good, Monica. Absolutely. What else could she do? Or what would you do if you were her? What would you do if you were her? She had to practice. Let's see, Delphine, she had to practice would be in the past. Let's say she has to, right? That's good. Or she had better practice. Let's see. Victoria, Greta's better apply for a tailor-made course as soon as possible. Okay, so finding an English course. Okay, that's a good one. Absolutely. If I were you, I'd travel to the UK, so she could travel to the UK or to the US as well, right? To immerse herself. Absolutely. Absolutely. That's a good one. I like that. Let's see. Stephanie says, if I were her, I'd look for a teacher. Very good. Yeah, a teacher can definitely help you. Emilce says, had better join a group and get a tutor. Very nice. Excellent. All right. Excellent. All right. So we have lots of good advice for my good friend Greta here to help her out. She should be in contact with natives. Very good. I like that one, Emilce. All right. Excellent, everyone. Very good, very good, very good words or very good expressions here. Very good advice. I like it. Delphine says, if I were her, I would travel the English world. So go to all the English countries. It's good. All right. Very good, everyone. Here is our summary for this. Now you can find the video of this meeting or of this class. You can find it on YouTube, so you can review it as much as you want. Just go to the Ingalia YouTube page. We've actually had some people in here watching with us this whole time, watching our class here. So you can find this and you can review all of this on the Ingalia YouTube page. But are there any questions about any of these things before we finish up for the day? Because this is the end. We don't have any more after this. So if you have any questions, please let me know now. Please put them in the chat. And let's see. If not, let's see. If you don't have any questions, then we'll go ahead and we'll finish the class now. We can say it's finished. Irina, I see that you just entered the class here, and so I think you missed a lot of the stuff that we've done. But Irina, you can find this on our YouTube page, and so you can see this, and you can see the entire class that we just did. So you don't have to worry about that. You can see everything. Thank you all for coming. I see a lot of people saying thank you. Yeah, thank you for the lesson. Excellent. You're very welcome. I'm very happy to do this, so it was nice to see you all here. If you have any questions, I'll stay here for another minute or two, and I'll answer them, of course. And if not, then we'll go ahead and we'll finish the class now, and you can get on with your day, and I'll see you in the next one. All right, we'll be doing some more of these soon. All right. Let's see. I'm not seeing any questions. I'm seeing lots of thank yous. You're all very welcome. I'm happy that you're happy. It makes me very happy. But yeah, I don't see any questions. So I think we'll go ahead and finish the class here and call it a day. All right. Thank you everybody for coming. Thank you so much. And I'll see you next time. All right. Bye.